Hey everyone, how's it going? In today's video, we'll take a quick look at an exclusive series featuring Lamborghini's Huracán STO. Alright, so of course, in order to have access to this series, you do need to, first of all, own this car, which you can purchase it for 700 gold. Or I guess if you can win it through the limited series that's currently running, then you can win it for 470 gold. Otherwise, you can get the showcase discount, 20% off for like 560 gold to purchase the car. Or there has been a discount offer on this car, like last year. I want to say there was like 45% off the car's price. So that brings the cost of the car down to closer to like 400-ish, right? So, but of course, if you buy it like that, you don't have any upgrades on, which you're gonna need a whole lot of in order to access this series. So it's best to try to win it through events like limited series that's currently going. And then once it's in your garage, you can wait for the upgrade discount to be offered sometime in the future, which is what I did. Then you can have access to this series with less resources spent. Right. So the total upgrade, like 100% upgrading Huracán STO, is normally 1230 gold. Yeah, which is like additional 760 gold from winning the car through limited series in the first place. So if you can wait after you win the car, then that'll bring the full upgrade cost to more like closer to like maybe like 600-700 range, gold wise, meaning you just have to spend another 300-ish gold instead of spending 760 gold, right? So anyway, and there is total rewards of 100 gold available. So here, let's hop into the series itself and we'll talk a bit more. All right, there it is. Lamborghini Huracán STO. Based on the powerful Huracán Super Trofeo, the Huracán STO brings the speed and style of a race car in an uncompromising road-legal model. Alright, of course, once you fully max out the car, you have all the like customizing options for free. This is one of the official liveries that's available. I do find that the green very cool. All right. So, speaking of rewards, as I was, 100 gold rewards total, and 300,000 racing dollars. So, let's see. So, as you can see, first 25% completion get you 10 gold and 30,000 racing dollars. And in order to do that, because there are a total 54 events, it's a 20-tier limit exclusive series, as you can see here. So that there are 3 time trials and the remaining, I guess, 17 tiers are all 3 event each tier. So that's 51 trophy events and 3 time trials. So in order to complete 25%, you do need to complete 14 events, right? So that gets you 10 gold, 30,000 racing dollars. 50% completion, you need to complete 27 events, which gets you that additional 20 gold and 60,000 racing dollars. And 75% completion, you'll need to complete 42 events, and that'll cost you, or that'll reward you additional 30 gold and 90,000 racing dollars. And the final 100% completion, well, as the 100% completion implies, you need to do everything, right? 51 gold trophies and 3 time trials, right? So those are some quick numbers, and let's run through the types of events that are available in this exclusive series. Of course, there are 3 time trials. Tier 5, the first one you see is going to be at Monza Road Course. And the second one at Tier 10 is going to be at the long on-road circuit layout of Porsche Test Track. It's a dawn race, so a little dark. But at least this car does have headlamps, so that won't be an issue. And then Tier 15, we got time trial at Silverstone's Bridge Grand Prix layout. All right, so those are the 3 time trials and variety events. All right, let's see. Starting in, we'll go down in alphabetic order. How about it? So we'll start with Autocross, which is the first, starting with A, right? All right, so there are 5 autocrosses in this exclusive series, starting in Tier 1. We got autocross at Melbourne, as you can see here. And then second instance, you find it in Tier 8, that one at Bugatti Circuit. And it's a morning race. And then the third instance of autocross, you see it in Tier 12, taking place at Cataluña's National Circuit. And then fourth instance of the autocross, you find it in Tier 17 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course layout in the morning. And then the final 5th instance of autocross, you find it in Tier 19, taking place at Mount Panorama. Right. And then next, drag race for D for drag race. All right, so we got 4 of those, which is 4 more than I care to see, but here we are. We got Tier 3, first one at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix Circuit. Next instance, you find it in Tier 7 at Suzuka Grand Prix. And the third instance, Tier 14 at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Circuit. And then finally, the last instance, you find it in Tier 20, taking place at Dubai Grand Prix. I suppose that is just a quick way of winning a trophy, assuming the bots that you race against are cooperating. Because you can come across some really nasty bots that you have to race against, and then it could be a endless venture of many frustrating trials. Not really driving skill related per se. I guess reaction time. I guess that's kind of a element of driving skill, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, next, E for elimination. We got 5 eliminations starting in Tier 1 at Hockenheim Short, and it's going to be a night race. We get a lot of night races at Hockenheim. Not exactly the best lit circuit, but that's okay. And the second instance, Tier 6 at Daytona Motorcycle Course. And of course, Daytona, on the other hand, is very well lit circuit. There is no corner that's not lit. And then the third instance, you find it in Tier 9. This one at Monza Junior Course, the short one. And then next one, Tier 13 is where you're going to find the next instance. This one at Melbourne. And then the final one, you find it in Tier 19 at Suzuka East. So elimination, of course, timed event. So it'll take same amount of time, no matter which circuit you race at. Some you may have, some shorter circuits, you may rack up multiple laps. Longer circuits, maybe not so much, right? And the other letter E series or events, endurance, right? There are 4 of those. That can be always an X factor, right? Endurance can be pretty fun, or could be very frustrating. But these, you can gain some high value from the race, right? Because you can technically run as long as you're capable, right? In some instances, That means quite literally forever, as long as your device does not quit on you. All right. Anyway, starting with the first one in Tier 3 at Dubai National Circuit. And then second instance is going to be in Tier 9 at Hockenheim Grand Prix Circuit. And third instance, you find it once again paired with the Elimination. This one at Nürburgring Grand Prix Circuit. And then final endurance, you find it in Tier 17 at Porsche Test Track Long On-Road Circuit layout. So those are 4 endurance races. And next, letter H, head-to-head. All right, we got 4 of those, starting in Tier 4. All right, this one at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. And then next instance, on the other side of the time trial, Tier 6, we got Nürburgring Grand Prix Circuit head-to-head. And these are, of course, single lap events, right? The head-to-head speed records, right? Those 2. And the Hunter, right? There are 3 single lap events. Well, I guess if you want to count time trial, sure, they are also single lap event as well. Anyway, head-to-head, right? So third instance of the head-to-head, you find it in Tier 16 at Laguna Seca. And then the final instance of head-to-head in the final tier, Tier 20 at Spa. Right. And then the other H event, Hunter. We got 4 of those as well, starting in Tier 2 at Le Mans 24-hour circuit. So that's a full lap around Le Mans. Yeah. Up next, at Tier 8, you find Hunter at Catalunya Grand Prix Circuit. And the third instance, you find it in Tier 12, taking place at Dubai Club Circuit. And the final instance of Hunter, you find it in Tier 18, taking place at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, formerly known as Mazda Raceway. Right? And then they did not renew. Mazda decided not to renew the naming rights on the circuit, so WeatherTech swooped in and purchased the right. All right, then we jump all the way down to letter S for speed record, or actually speed snap would be, no, speed record comes in first, right? Letter R before letter S. Alphabet. All right. Starting with first instance, you find it in Tier 4. And did I say speed snap? Speed record. Let's go with the speed record. Okay, well, we'll stick to the alphabetic order in more strict manner here. So first instance of speed record and Tier 2. This one, you find it in Tier 2, taking place as short on-road circuit layout of Leipzig's Porsche Test Track. It's going to be a dawn race, so a little bit dark. And then next instance, you find it in Tier 7, speed record, taking place at Austin's Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit. And then third instance of speed record, you find it in Tier 11 at, once again, Circuit of the Americas again, at National Circuit layout though. And the final instance, Tier 16, this one, no, it's not going to be at Circuit of the Americas. Instead, we're heading over to Austria, Red Bull Ring National Circuit. Right, and the other S event, Speed Snap. Now, this one at Tier 4, first instance, taking place at Spa, as you can see here. And the second instance of Speed Snap at Tier 11, taking place at Melbourne. And third instance, Tier 14, taking place at Daytona International Speedway Road Course layout. And then finally, last instance of Tier 8, Speed Snap taking place at, you find it in Tier 18, taking place at Red Bull Ring's national circuit layout. Boy. All right, so those are all the variety events. So if you complete, let's say, all the autocross, drag race, and speed snaps, then that adds up to be what? 4 speed snap, 4 drag race, that's already 8, and another 5, 13. So you're like right there by 25% completion by without completing a lap at any given circuit, right? And then if you want to claim 25% completion, I just need to do one more. Like, let's say, do a time trial. As long as you don't go off track, or as long as you can post the valid time, right? You have your 25% completion right there, which is not bad, right? So then after that, you would have to do some longer races, whether it be single lap events or multiple. It's up to you, right? Anyway, let's, now that the variety events are kind of covered here, let's head on over to go over all the cup races. There are 17 of them, as I said. So we'll start from Tier 1. At this one at Spa. How many laps? Just a quick 2 laps. It's not too bad, right? Tier 2. The cup is going to take place at Catalunya Grand Prix Circuit. And this one is 3 laps. Alright, so Catalunya not as long though. And then Tier 3, we got Cup at Nürburgring Grand Prix Circuit. This one's a little bit longer Grand Prix Circuit. So 3 laps is gonna be a little bit longer than the Tier 2. And Tier 4, Cup takes place at Melbourne. Much shorter circuit, so we do get 5 laps. And then Tier 6, the Cup is going to take place at Hockenheim National. 5 laps, so yeah, that is not as long of a circuit, right? So, and then Tier 7, we got Cup at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix Circuit and 5 laps. So this one is going to be a little bit longer. I know Red Bull Ring Grand Prix Circuit is one of the shorter Grand Prix circuits, but still 5 laps at a Grand Prix circuit is good length. Tier 8, we got Porsche Test Track, long on-road circuit layout, cup, and this is gonna be a 6-lap cup. Yeah, that's gonna be longer, I think, than the 5 laps at Red Bull Ring. Anyway, Tier 9, we got cup at Daytona Motorcycle Course, and this is gonna be also another 6-lap cup. I want to say Porsche Test Track is going to be longer. Not sure, 100%. Anyway, it's going to be comparable. Tier 11. This one, we got Cup at Suzuka West Circuit. And this is going to be a 8-lapper, but of course that's a relatively short circuit. And Tier 12, we got Laguna Seca Cup. And this one is also another 8-lap cup. High lap counts, yeah. And Tier 13, we got the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, road course. Another 8-lap cup, so that one definitely is going to be longer than the others, I think. And that brings us to Tier 14, Mount Panorama. Let's see how many laps at Bathurst Circuit we got to do. 6 laps, that is pretty lengthy. All right, and the final quadrant of the series here, Tier 16, the Cup at Silverstone Grand Prix. All right, how many laps? 7 laps. All right, so now we're getting into the lengthy race territory for sure. Tier 17, we got Dubai Grand Prix Cup, and also 7 laps. I think the Silverstone's longer than Dubai. And then Tier 18, we got Monza Road Course Cup, and that's 8 laps. So Monza's slightly shorter, but not like a whole lap shorter. And then Tier 19, we got the king of all long circuits in the game. That is, in the form of Le Mans 24-hour circuit cup, and it's going to be 4 laps. So I think, yeah, that's probably going to be the longest race in this event, unless the Tier 20 final tier has something to say about that. This one as Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Circuit Cup, and it's gonna be 7 laps. 7 laps here, 4 laps at Le Mans. I'm gonna say 4 laps at Le Mans is probably longer. Anyway, that will do it for the quick overview of this exclusive series featuring Lamborghini Huracán STO. So hopefully the information you found here, you guys found it useful. And then we'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, have a good one.